Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a labor and delivery story for you guys. Now it has been about 9 months since I did give birth, so I apologize if some of the details aren't spot on. But I'm going to start the story about a month before I gave birth. I would get these contractions throughout that whole month, but they only happened at night and they would wake me up. People might call them Braxton Hicks, but for me they were the real deal. They felt exactly the same as when it was January 23rd at 1 in the morning. The only difference is that they weren't within the time range of contractions, so they would be from 10 minutes apart to 1 minute apart, lasting at least 3 minutes. So I never did go in until the final night. Those, like I said, lasted through the whole month of December into January. And then finally it was January 23rd in the middle of the night. I woke up. I was sleeping at Alberto's house because he didn't live with me at the time. And I woke up and I didn't want to annoy him because I feel like I had done this, like I said, the whole month of December and through January. But I had this horrible pain in my back. It was coming and going. I had this app on my phone that timed them, so when they started I would push the timer. They were in the time range, but some of them would be way out of whack and be like 10 minutes or 20 minutes apart. So I tried to go back to sleep. Wasn't sure if it was the real deal. I didn't want to wake him up because I felt like for the whole past 2 months I had been waking him up and it not being the real deal. So I decided to go home and try and wait out the pain by myself. So I didn't live that far from him, maybe only 8 minutes. But I was driving home at this point it was probably 3 in the morning. I was driving home, it was snowing out. I hate driving in the snow, and in the mix of it having contractions. Finally I got home. I thought I would try to take a bath to try and relax. That didn't work, so it just actually woke me up more. So then I just sat on my couch, and at this point they were getting worse. It really helped sort of sit up straight Indian style and just sort of try and breathe through them. I had felt that I'd taken enough of this pain already, so I called up the 24-hour nurse that my clinic provides. So I just told them what was happening, how my contractions were very close together and lasting for probably 30 seconds to, at this point, 5 minutes. And I told them how I wasn't sure if I should go in because of the durations. And she said she can go ahead to let the hospital know that I'm coming in. So then I was like, great, now I have to go because they're expecting me. So at this time it's probably 5:30, 6. I went upstairs and I woke my mom up and I told her that I think I should go to the hospital. The nurse said I should go. Grab my bag, my big hospital bag, duffel bag, diaper bag, everything. And we had only bought the car seat the day before because the one we had originally got from my mom's friend was expired. So the night before we went to Target and bought a new car seat. As soon as I sat in the car and we were on our way to pick Alberto up, they stopped. I was like, oh no, they're gonna send me home. We got to Alberto's house. He wasn't answering his phone because he sleeps, he's knocked out, he won't wake up. When he goes to bed, he locks the door, and I don't know what I would have done if his door was locked and he wasn't answering his phone. It was 5:30 in the morning, like I said. I'm not gonna be sitting there pounding on his door while everyone else in the house is asleep. So I am just very lucky that the door was unlocked. The whole time in the car on the way to the hospital, I was just sort of, we're gonna get there, I'm gonna have to sit there for 2 hours, and they're like, okay, go home, good luck. But that was not the case. Like I said, the contractions just stopped as we were on our way to the hospital. Finally, when we got there, I stepped out of the car and they just started full blast, and it hurt so bad. And I don't remember why, but we had to go, seemed like around the hospital walking just to get to where we had to go. That's probably because I was pregnant and I was thinking, oh my god, I'm dying. But we finally got our room and the doctor came in, and luckily the doctor spoke Spanish, so he was able to explain everything to Alberto and he was able to understand it. Since Camila was breech, so her butt was down by my pelvis and her head was up by my ribs. That she had been that way for probably 10 weeks, and they had been taking continuous ultrasounds on her just to make sure that she is flipping. They did try to do an ECV, which stands for external cephalic version, and that is basically just where when the baby's still in my belly, they give me medicine to relax my uterus and then they try and turn the baby. And let me tell you, it is not painful, but it is extremely uncomfortable, and just not horrible, but very uncomfortable. But so we got there and they did an ultrasound on Camila and they saw that she still was breech. So they talked about doing a C-section. I was gonna have a planned C-section on the 29th, but because I was in labor right now, they're going to do an emergency C-section. But since my doctor had never checked how I was dilated like they do normally in the weeks leading up to giving birth, just to see how many centimeters you're dilated. He didn't do that because he didn't want me to go into labor and then have to get an emergency C-section. He was really rooting for getting a natural birth. They checked me and I was only 3 centimeters dilated, so that wasn't that much, and I probably could have gone a lot further before I got any pain medicine or anything, but like I said, it did turn into an emergency C-section. So this time it's probably around 7:30 in the morning. They gave me my IVs and they gave me this thing to drink, and I remember my cousin's girlfriend just recently had a C-section a month before, and I asked her a bunch of details about it because like I said, I was going to have a planned C-section on the 29th. And she was telling me about this drink. But so I drank it and it just sort of numbed my mouth and felt like it was numbing my throat as it went down. But it was gross. I don't remember why they give it to you. So I go into the surgery room and at this point it's getting really real and really scary. I'm all alone because they had to put the epidural in my back while I don't move at all of myself, just the doctors, and it's really scary. So they put it in and it didn't hurt that bad. Before the epidural they give you a shot to numb the area. Kind of feels like a bee sting, but then they let that set in, and after that I didn't feel the epidural at all. So I don't know why people have all these horrible stories. Like I said, I didn't feel it, and I had to lay down, and since my IVs they didn't want those to get all tangled, so I had to put my arm straight out while I was laying down. And finally Alberto could come in. This part went really fast. It was probably 9:30 when Alberto came in. They started doing the incisions and baby was out. I don't want to say I wasn't excited, but I was very scared because like I said, I was in surgery. It was my first surgery, and I just felt kind of like, oh no, everything is so real right now. I have a baby to take care of for the rest of my life. All of this stuff just sort of overwhelmed me. I kind of regret it because I wasn't fully there to welcome Camila. I was just sort of scared. I remember they took her to do her footprints and I was just sort of sitting there almost crying because I was so scared about what was going to happen. But so she was born at 9:55 a.m. on January 23rd, 2018, and ever since that day my life has just been going up. It is such an amazing experience to be a mom, and that is my labor and delivery story. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment video ideas that you guys want to see down below, and I will go ahead and make some of those. Thanks!